The news at noon starts right now.
And we start with some late breaking news. This is in the 1800 block of Castroville Road. What you're looking at is the result of a dump truck that did not realize how tall it was. It went through this area and it hit a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, this happened right there at Castroville Road near 90 and 151, just east of that intersection. You can see the bridge has completely collapsed. Workers are trying to figure out how to reopen the road there. We've got a crew on the scene, and we will be bringing you more information as we get it. As of right now, we understand that there are no injuries so far, but we'll have an update for you in just a second.
Meantime, two different strangers have made very different impacts on a local man's life. San Antonio police say that one of them shot him. The other may have saved his life.
As Katrina Weber reports, police are still looking for one of those strangers.
All signs in this neighborhood point to trouble. San Antonio police officers found evidence near the corner of Somerset Road and Cree Street showing them there had been a shooting. This is the same place where the victim, a 34-year-old man, told them it happened. He says he was riding a bicycle around midnight when someone in a car shot him twice in his leg. But they found him at a different location, a hospital. Police say he had help getting there from someone he didn't know. Based on what police told us, it sounds like the victim saw the worst and best of strangers right here within a few minutes. They say after he was shot, a Good Samaritan helped him get to a hospital. Officers stayed behind, trying to find something to lead them to the shooter. They say that person took off in a black sedan. The last word from police on the man who was shot was that he was still in the hospital getting treated for his wounds. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
New at noon, a worker at a meat market comes face to face with a gun during a robbery on the north side. Now police are looking for the person responsible. Look at your screen there. Take a close look. Officers want to track down this person. Police tell us back on January 31st, a suspect walked into a marquee on the 2300 block of Northwest Military Highway. The person first pretended to be a customer, and then the cashier opened the register during a transaction, and officers say the suspect rushed the worker, pointed a gun at her, and then took off with cash. If you can help officers solve the case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 224-STOP.
It is so hard to believe, but it's been more than a year since Lena Kill disappeared. Her family, though, is not giving up. In fact, they are marking her 5th birthday. Lena was last seen in December of 2021. Now there is hope that this new image could bring her home. An age progression sketch of Lena was unveiled yesterday. This drawing showing what she is believed to look like now. Pamela Allen with Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach explains lots of tips are still coming in about the little girl, but not many of them have been helpful due to a lack of new pictures for Lena. The organization and her family have now gotten the assistance of a renowned forensic artist in hopes this will help find her.
We're going to spread that hope. I mean, what will we lose in sharing hope with one another? And we're going to continue in the search for Lena.
Ellen is also challenging the community to share and repost the new image. We have it on our KSAT website and our KSAT social media pages. And when you post it, you're being asked to use the hashtag 10,000 shares for Lena. The goal is to have it shared 10,000 times nationally and internationally.
And tonight we invite you to join us for the conversation about our new series called Fighting Fentanyl. The synthetic opioid has led to a surge in overdoses across the country, and that includes here in Texas. So tonight, Stefania Jimenez is going to introduce us to a local father with a heartbreaking story. His daughter, who was a freshman at UTSA and dreamed of being a doctor, passed away last year from fentanyl toxicity. She didn't suffer from addiction. Her father thinks it was an accident. So that's why he wants us to hear his story, so you can protect your kids. Tonight, tune in on the story for the Night Beat.
We're going to take a live look outside. Not that we need to talk too much about the weather. Look at that, 76 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, Justin.
We're not expecting many clouds today. Those temperatures have jumped up quickly after some morning fog. The temperature's now in the mid-70s, and we're on our way to the 80s this afternoon. It only gets warmer from there. Tomorrow is going to be an even warmer day. Let me take you back outside. And yeah, there's a lot of blue skies. Temperatures at this hour checking in at 76. Dew point is at 63, so it's still humid too, thanks to a south-southeasterly breeze at about 10 miles per hour. That wind turns to the west tomorrow, and that's why temperatures, again, will be even warmer on your Wednesday. 78 in Comfort, 73 Bernie Stage, closing in on 80 there in Rio Medina. 80 already in Pleasanton, so we'll see a few, several 80s, I think, on the map this afternoon, including here in San Antonio. 80 by 2 o'clock, 82 at 3 p.m. We're shooting for 84 this afternoon with those good southerly breezes still remaining in place. 80 at 7 o'clock, 78, 8 p.m. And then tonight, not much of a cool down. We will see a little bit of drizzle, perhaps by tomorrow morning, some fog before some dry air pushes in from the west. And then there's quite a few ups and downs in the 7-day forecast. We'll take a look at those coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. The tasty story of the day, Black Restaurant Week in San Antonio, is a week-long event that celebrates the contributions of Black-owned restaurants, food trucks, businesses across the culinary industry. And as Max Massey shows us, the program partnered with the San Antonio Food Bank as a way to help families across our community.
We needed something healthy in the area.
Lem found a need in our area, and then he opened up his restaurant, Root Salad Kitchen.
Want to see it?
Eat good, look good, feel good.
You know, we came up with that motto, that slogan. I think it works perfect for what we have here.
Root Salad Kitchen is one of the many local spots participating in next week's Black Restaurant Week.
The restaurant industry is hard. There's nothing easy about it. So to highlight what we're doing, especially in the Black community during Black History Month, I think is great. It gives us a little boost that we need.
And take a look at this. This is the Southwest Jerk Salad. It's the most popular item on the menu here. And here's the best part. For every salad sold, a portion goes to the San Antonio Food Bank.
For every special item, Black Restaurant Week special, $1 will be donated to the San Antonio Food Bank. Combine that with the Tim Duncan Foundation, who is able to donate $2. And since our food bank math, $1 equals 7 meals, 21 meals, our favorite Tim Duncan's number, will be donated to the food bank.
And right now, the San Antonio Food Bank is working to help thousands and thousands of families every week.
We're serving 100,000 folks each week and serving 29 counties. So the need is there. It's great. And while we'd love to see it go down, and we're working to make sure we shorten the line, we're having to feed the line too in the process.
As for Lem and Root Salad Kitchen, there are big plans on the horizon.
We got a lot of big things coming up, some expansion coming up. I can't say right now exactly what it is just yet.
Max Massey, KSAT12 News.
Looks good. Happening tonight, people who live in District 1 are going to get a chance to voice their concerns when it comes to public safety and quality of life in the community. A town hall is being held at the Public Theater of San Antonio. It is tonight at 6:30. That's at 800 West Ashby Place. Residents can discuss the issues that matter to them and have questions answered by District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo, the San Antonio Police Department, Public Works, Solid Waste, and even Animal Care Services, among others. The town hall will end at 8 o'clock tonight.
In the day ahead, Governor Greg Abbott is set to hold a roundtable discussion in Weslaco about border security. He is set to meet with state officials and law enforcement around 2 this afternoon. That includes Texas Department of Public Safety Director Steve McCraw and border czar Mike Banks.
Some disturbing news today. Russian President Vladimir Putin condemning the United States and the West for supporting Ukraine. Putin also announced during his State of the Nation address that Russia will temporarily suspend its involvement in a critical nuclear arms agreement with the U.S. ABC's Justin Finch reports this is raising concerns that Russia could restart nuclear testing.
One day after President Biden's unprecedented trip to Ukraine.
Morning, Mr. President.
Biden stopping Kyiv, marking the first time in modern history a U.S. president has visited a war zone where the U.S. has no military presence. Today, Russia's President Vladimir Putin appearing to fire back in his State of the Nation address. While not mentioning Biden by name, Putin blasts the U.S. and NATO allies, falsely accusing them of starting the war and saying Russia is using force in an effort to stop it.
President Putin ordered his tanks to roll into Ukraine. He thought we would roll over. He was wrong. The Ukrainian people are too brave. America, Europe, a coalition of nations from the Atlantic to the Pacific We were too unified.
Putin also announcing Russia is temporarily holding off participating in the New START nuclear arms treaty, the Obama-era nuclear arms reduction agreement between Russia and the U.S.
The announcement by Russia that it's suspending participation in New START is deeply unfortunate and irresponsible. We'll be watching carefully.
Putin's announcement heightening concerns about its nuclear weapons intentions as its war with Ukraine marks 1 year this week. President Biden not reacting to Putin's remarks at the start of a meeting with Polish President Duda.
We have to have security in Europe. It's that basic, that simple, that consequential.
Duda and Biden in Poland discussing efforts to support Ukraine and fortify NATO allies' defenses. And Putin's speech came hours before President Biden's address in Poland, where he rallied support for Ukraine from ally nations and from the U.S. The White House also underscoring that Biden's speech was not meant to signal a head-to-head with Putin. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, the ladies getting the high school basketball playoff week rolling. Highlights on the way.
Students at a local school pushing to make some unique changes, how they're hoping to get some vitamin D while they learn.
Students at Bowdoin Academy are embracing outdoor learning and are now pushing to create unique spaces at their school.
Tiffany Huerta shows us how spending time outside is changing their educational experience.
My favorite part about the project was the native plants because they provide food, shelter, and water for animals.
Bowdoin Academy 5th grade student Autumn King and her classmates have been researching the outdoors and its benefits.
When we're inside, I feel kind of, I feel meh. And then when I go outside, it's like, more, it's like just fun.
The student's teacher, Victoria Martinez, says they spent time on a ranch learning outside. And that's when this project started.
We saw a really different transition when they came back into the classroom. They seemed a little down. They weren't as engaged. And so we started doing research on the benefits of outdoor learning.
The students designed outdoor spaces with sustainability goals in mind.
This is our math and our science area. In this space here, they will be learning about how to grow vegetables. They'll be learning about how to recycle and compost.
Local students spent weeks working on these projects, and they worked with local professionals, including architects.
She brought a drone, and she flew the drone over to get an aerial view of our school. She came in and she worked with them on how to take their ideas and draw them to scale.
The students will be presenting to the community tomorrow and believe these spaces can help others.
I'm pretty sure any kid would probably like this, especially outside.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Adults would like that thing outside too. That looks like fun, hanging out, especially on a day like today.
Oh yeah.
Go outside, go play. It's good weather.
I am gonna tell you this, the vitamin D thing, I got a story coming up today at 6 o'clock about.
It's real.
It's a real problem. Yeah. It's an epidemic.
I tell my kids every day, go outside and play. Today's the day for it. Today's a great day for it. The aquifer is down 9/10 of a foot. That's unfortunate. 637.2. In your pollen count, it's a long list again, but it's all the same allergens and they're all low. Molds, ash, elm, hackberry, and mulberry. How hot will we go tomorrow? That's the big question. We'll take a look coming up.
So I did see a picture on social media. I guess I get on social media every now and then. I know that's a stunner for you guys.
Wow.
It was from the Bluebonnet Cafe, and there were bluebonnets outside the Bluebonnet Cafe. And if you know where that is, it's up Highway 281, just right there when you're going to Johnson City. going to Marble Falls North.
I think Mother Nature's been a little confused.
Well, we're a little ahead of schedule, not a huge amount, but we are a little bit ahead of schedule, and temperatures have been warm. There's just no two ways around it. We're starting to see stuff bloom. Of course, the next question becomes, do we have another freeze in the forecast? No, and in fact, we don't even get close, at least not over the next 7 to 10 days. Doesn't mean we can't get another freeze, but we're trending warmer as we head into March. Let me take you to the visible satellite picture. There are no clouds out there over San Antonio. We had some this morning, some patchy fog, but those have gone away very quickly. And with full sun, we're going to see a warm afternoon. There's no two ways around it. 76 degrees currently, already up to 80 in Pleasanton, 82 Carrizo Springs. That's a place that could be pushing 90 today, and we'll almost certainly get there tomorrow. 77 in Kerrville, 75 in Rock Springs. Right around Bexar County, we're in the mid-70s right now with a good southerly breeze. As we go outside for you, lots of blue skies. South-southeasterly winds at 10. And that dew point's at 63, so it's still somewhat humid out there too. As you plan out the rest of your day, know that temperatures will eventually make their way into the mid-80s, mostly sunny at 4 o'clock, and then 82 at 6 p.m. Should be a beautiful evening, 80 at 7 o'clock, and then down into the mid-70s by 10 p.m. We will see clouds starting to build by that hour, and by midnight, the clouds will fill in, and we'll get maybe a little bit of drizzle and some patchy fog developing. So what I want to show you is the setup across the country. It's pretty interesting as we go throughout the course of this week. This is today, 15 in Minneapolis. That's the forecast. We're going to be in the low 80s, as we showed you. But watch what happens as we get into tomorrow. The line between the really cold stuff and the warm stuff sharpens. And we're really going to have a huge difference between the southern half of the country and the northern half of the country. Minneapolis, 19 tomorrow. Heavy snow. We're talking feet of snow. All sorts of watches and warnings there. Meantime, we could be setting record highs across the south, where temperatures tomorrow, again, now it shows 85 there. I think we could go a degree or two warmer, just to give you some perspective in the jet stream. Kind of sitting in the middle of things, right? So here are the watches and warnings. Blizzard warnings up here around Minneapolis, winter storm warnings across the west, the whole western half of the country really under a watch or advisory right now. And there's some high wind warnings for the Texas Panhandle, where there's going to be more blowing dust coming up tomorrow. For us, we have a fire weather watch. That goes for tomorrow. We'll get some gusty winds, not as strong as the Texas Panhandle, but strong enough to where we have very dry air, warm temperatures. There is a significant fire threat tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, Del Rio, Hondo, Uvalde, Lakey, Rock Springs. We're talking very high to extreme fire risk tomorrow. We've got to be very, very careful. We've been in this situation before over the last couple of weeks, but we're doing it again. And the wind gust forecast tomorrow here in San Antonio, gustiest winds probably mid-morning, but we could see some gusts 30 to 35 out of the west. And as you know, a west wind that warms us up. So we're looking for high tomorrow around 87. But notice there will be some 90s on the map. Pleasanton, Pearsall, Carrizo Springs up around 93 tomorrow afternoon. Not record temperatures, because if you remember back in 1996, we were up around 100 around this time of year, but hot nonetheless. And as we look at the forecast here, mostly sunny this afternoon. Clouds do briefly build back in, maybe a little bit of drizzle and fog to start your Wednesday, and then that dry air pushes in, and we get sunny skies tomorrow afternoon. The extended forecast. On 79 Thursday, we get a frontal boundary that comes through, and that does knock down temperatures. We're thinking 70 for a high on Friday. Lots of clouds, maybe a sprinkle or two. It'll be significantly cooler, but it warms right back up this weekend. 80 on Saturday, 81 Sunday. We get another front early next week. Doesn't really cool us down, but it does bring a very small chance of rain, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
The ladies on the court trying to keep their seasons alive last night, and one school is all about defense, and we mean a lot of defense. Getting down to the nitty-gritty in high school basketball. It's the third round of the playoffs with the ladies in Class 4A. Defending regional champ Fredericksburg played Navarro at Littleton Gym last night. Third quarter battling Billy's in control. Kristen Hartman, the three, 39-25. The Panthers claw their way back. Tatum Harbroth drives, gets the foul, counted at one. She finished with a game-high 22, but Fredericksburg answers right back. Madison Franson for the three. It's good, plus a foul, off-ball foul, results in a 5-point play. Ella Hartman calls her own number right to the hoop. She had 17. Fredericksburg sweeps their district rival 62-41.
They're a solid team. They really are. We had to work for it. It wasn't an easy game for us, but playing them in district made it a little bit more difficult because they know everything that we're going to do. So you have to come up with some new things that they don't know.
Best nickname around. The Battling Billies will next take on the winner of the Somerset Beeville Jones matchup in the regional semifinals this Friday. The Lytle Pirates are into the third round of the playoffs thanks in large part to their defense. These young ladies, they eat it, they sleep it, they dream it. It's all about defense. Boy, do they embrace it. They love to press and create turnovers. And coming up next for them in Class 3 playoffs is their district rival from Cotulla, the Cowboys, a team the Pirates beat twice during the regular season.
We played them twice, so we already know how they play, how they are, and we watch film on them, so we know how to break it down, what they're not good at, so we can work on that at practice, and hopefully take it up after the game.
I definitely think it will be like competitive. They'll come to play. We watched film, we prepared. I think we'll do fine. It'll be fun.
We beat them twice in district. It's a good team, really good team, and I think it'll be a good matchup. The thing is that they know how we play, we know how they play, so we just got to switch things up a bit and play our game, but better.
For her career, Fizz has 488 steals. She'll pick your pocket. Lytle will play Cotulla tomorrow night, 6 in the Class 3A regional quarterfinals in Seguin. And to the Stock Show and Rodeo Bull Riding back in action. Last night, 5 of the 11 rides went the distance. Here's Jeff Askey spinning around and around and around Frontier Coffee New Grounds, and that's a percolating ride. He earned an 80 on that ride. He's still going. There you go. Get off that thing before it hurts you. You only have to go 8 seconds. Look how calm that bull was. Nice ride and chill. Here's 7-time world champion Sage Steele Kimsey riding Moonflower. Breaks off an 87-point ride. They were riding him last night. This is what a 7-time champ does. Final Cowboy of the night, Trey Holston with a re-ride on Bull Frontier Coffee Ohio grounds, and he hits the 8-second mark to earn an 87 to finish tied with Sage Steele. And there goes the bull. Look out. Where's the barrel guy? What happened to the barrel clown? He ducked into that barrel, didn't he? Bulls going wild there.
They did not win.
Fun.
The Bulls did win.
No, the Cowboys had some good rides last night, like that.
Coming up, people in Ohio continuing to sound off loudly about the side effects of that big train derailment, why many residents are feeling like they're being left in the dark, and why today they could get some unanswered questions. We're going to return now to that breaking news we had at the top of the hour. This is the 1800 block of Casterville Road. We're getting a look at a dump truck, a good view of it. It looks as though the truck itself is a little bit lifted, which may be why it just took out a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, the crane is working to get that out of the way. They're working to get that road cleared. This is once again on Casterville Road, just north of 90 and a little east of the intersection of 90 and 151, if you're familiar with that area of town. We do know so far there are no injuries to report. We understand that the police has told our crew that as of right now, no injuries, no more information than what you really see, other than the fact that they are trying to get this mess cleaned up.
Obviously, Casterville Road is blocked off right here. You're going to have to go around.
Now we want to get to that latest on the toxic train derailment in Ohio. Officials opening a medical clinic for residents. A lot of folks are complaining of constant headaches, eye irritation after hazardous chemicals were released into the air.
The Biden administration is putting pressure on the train company at the center of the investigation. The CEO promising to do right by the residents. ABC's Rena Roy with more from the scene.
More than 2 weeks after the fiery train crash in East Palestine, Ohio, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg pushing for transparency and answers for residents.
We are pushing forward a 3-part drive on rail safety. Things that we're doing at the Department of Transportation to raise the bar, things that we need help from Congress to do in order to hold rail companies accountable, and things that this industry needs to do differently.
The train company, Norfolk Southern, turning this church into a reimbursement center for affected families. The company has also put $1 million into a recovery fund for affected residents. 11-year-old Zach lives less than a mile from the site of the derailment. His family now living in a hotel.
Our face has been burning, headaches, massive, almost passing out.
The company also paying for the cleanup, announcing more than 7 tons of contaminated soil and over 1 million gallons of contaminated water have now been excavated from the derailment site. Adding in a statement, the material will be transported to landfills and disposal facilities that are designed to accept it safely. This comes as federal and state health officials open a health clinic for residents to address medical concerns after multiple complaints of skin, eye, and throat irritation.
They're doing everything they can to take care of the community.
The governors of Ohio and Pennsylvania are both making a visit to East Palestine today, along with the EPA administrator, hoping to help residents in this long road to recovery. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
It was a tough day for students at Michigan State University. Yesterday, they returned to class 1 week after a gunman opened fire on campus, killing 3 people and wounding 5 others. The university's interim provost says that the community is still dealing with the shock of what happened last week, and they're hoping that students, faculty, and staff will continue to heal.
Coming back into spaces that are familiar, interacting with people who are familiar, is helpful in the process of healing and grieving. We know that everybody heals at their own pace and in their own manner, and so getting it exactly right will not be possible, but we will do the best we can in support of each other.
4 of the 5 students wounded in the shooting remain in critical condition. A 5th is in stable condition. Police say they still don't know why this gunman targeted Michigan State University. He took his own life, and it's unclear if they will ever know the answer.
At least 6 people have been killed in Turkey following a new 6.3 magnitude earthquake. The quake coming 2 weeks after that massive quake killed tens of thousands. This new quake was centered in the town of Defne, which was one of the worst hit regions in the magnitude 7.8 quake that struck at the beginning of this month. In the most recent quake, 4 have been killed, over 200 injured. Search and rescue efforts were underway this morning in the 3 collapsed buildings where people are believed to be trapped. Between both quakes, over 46,000 deaths have been reported.
Let's look outside because it's just too pretty not to look at it again. 78 degrees outside. We are warming up fast.
Yeah, it's going up quickly. I think we'll be in the 80s here pretty soon, into the mid 80s this afternoon. If you were up early this morning, you caught some of that fog. There was patchy fog around San Antonio. I want to take you to the south part of Bexar County, and you see some of the fog that developed. It was light, wasn't a big deal, but kind of made for a beautiful morning, really. Marcelo sent that picture, and I love that with the sunrise in the background. Well done. We may see a little bit more fog coming up tomorrow morning. 75 right now, Bernie State, 79 Rio Medina. Starting to see 80s in places like Devine and Pleasanton, where it's 82 right now, 75 in Converse. And let me take you back in history a little bit. Yes, it's warm, but it's not as warm as it was in 1996. You remember this? Got up to 100 back then on this date, back in 1996. And I made the comment earlier that was back when the Cowboys were good. I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't have gone there. And David corrected me that in 1996, Cowboys were actually on their way down a little bit. But good years back in the mid-90s, back when it was really hot. We're not going to get there, but we will see some hot temperatures coming up. We'll have more on that warm forecast here in just a few minutes, guys.
Wow. That was a blast from the past. Cowboys, kind of good. All right, still ahead, we're learning the big role that members of the San Antonio Zoo played when it came to the shutdown during that really cold weather at the Austin Zoo.